Say Apollo. Why do they call him Soap, anyway?
I gather it's on account of his squeaky clean gambling record. Never lost a single bet, if you believe the stories. But I prefer to think of it this way. He's as slippery as they come.
So, remind me then, why is it we think he'll help us take down Marm?
He might not. But he's a socialite, and we're highly susceptible to flattery and bribery. I'm sure you can convince him.
That's all you got for me?
Sorry, darling, can't do much else from here. But you've got a handle on things, right?
I hate flying blind, and this doesn't strike me as a solo sortie either.
Oh, do I detect a fear of heights, 8-Shot? We all have to pull our own weight. You'll be fine. They say Soap's parties are as wild as they come. I'd like to see it myself sometime.
Yeah, can't wait. Talk to you later.
This?
That firebrand from the Union. How'd things go with him?
Harder than I'd like to admit. Ever since I stepped back, he's been giving more speeches. Starting to get noticed. More people are coming to hear him speak.
Thought that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, until the strike breakers show up. But they've been sniffing around just like they did when Marco started making a name for himself. Even if we take Marm out, the kid's gonna have enemies.
Heard a number of rumors about you, a couple of years back.
Yeah?
It true you used to do everything left side at the start of a season? Left shoe tied first, left hand to open doors. Whatever gossip the boxer was expecting, it wasn't that. He looks at me like I came to a fight with a feather duster instead of a pair of gloves, and then lets out a guffaw.
Never thought much of it. Sometimes I have a bad day, sometimes I don't. If the bookies wanted to read into it, that's on them.
So you aren't the suspicious type then?
I used to let Diane wrap my hands before a big match. Can't say it won me every one of them, but it kept my nerves calm.
Explain something to me. Marm's sending does to undercut your standing with the Union, but she's also paying you to move her loot. Why?
I run the best moving company in the barony. Doesn't matter if she'd rather someone knock me off my perch. She needs her goods handled properly. She has to go through me.
And you just go along with it, despite her handing out knives behind your back. Luca grimaces, weariness creaking into his wrinkles like worn seams on an overused engine.
There's rules. I keep the Union in line, Mom keeps her claws off. I take her contracts, she keeps my people fed. And if I help the neighborhood in my own time, she can't complain. It's how Dreamland works. And Mom knows I'm honest enough to follow through on my end, no matter what rules she bends on hers. See ya.
Angels and demons frolic in the festive dark. The debauchery of a bacchanal that hasn't stopped in days spills onto the mansion grounds like a tipped-over punch bowl. 5 will get you 10, the punch is spiked. Like a barbaric centerpiece topping off the Saturnalian soiree, Lizzie's roadster is parked at an off-kilter angle on the front steps. A fractured pillar stands testament to her reckless inebriation. Astride her souped-up ride, Lizzie is a paragon of belligerence, drunk as a lord, shouting and singing, and aggressively denying access to the main doors. Doubt she'll be up for a friendly chat in such a state. Doubt I'd want to be on the other end of it. Maybe I ought to socialize a bit first. Of all the odd stuff I've seen, the grass-skirted inebriate guarding a bed of glowing hot coals that lead like a sizzling red carpet into the mansion's side entrance, well, that might just take the cake. Like a chieftain eager for sacrifice at the volcano's edge, the mad Montezuma atop his makeshift throne sneers down at the throng, daring anyone brave enough to traverse his infernal path.
Step right up, step right up. Fancy some bubbling, doll? Just gotta walk over and grab it.
I'm not that hard up for a drink. Nobody is.
Tell that to Phil. Clumsy bum burnt half his damn clothes off trying to get it.
Why in blazes would he do that?
That ain't no regular champagne, oh no. That's a Chateau Diff 78. You could buy Lizzie's hot rod with that bottle, lady.
Lizzie's clearly in a drinking mood. Maybe I can make that bottle a peace offering and get past her. Assuming I can stand the heat, that is.
So, doll, you gonna try a little hot foot?
Ah, hell. Why not? The crowd whoops as I roll up my cuffs. Before I can think about it too hard, I launch myself down the path. A fireworks show of sparks erupts with every footfall as I dance my way across. The rictus grin of a charred human skull suddenly flashes up between my feet, glowing from within with burning mockery. The yelp that escapes me instantly drowns in the crowd's hooting glee. I don't mess with curses and I don't suffer hauntings. I'm not about to invite either one. I leap in a smoking arc and keep running, focusing on my footing and trying not to guess whose brain case I just dodged. Yanking the bottle from its mooring, I leap to safety, smoke trailing my steps like a demon fleeing Tartarus. I thrust my prize skyward in victorious relief, basking in the approving wails of the crowd.
Holy Toledo! Whew, you earned that bottle, all right.
Thanks, pal. Knocking some remaining embers off my boots, I give my adoring fans a grateful wave and saunter over to Lizzie, bubbly held out like a precious infant in my arms. Evening! Hell of a ride you got there.
Wait a minute. You're that Maul what's been hanging around with Princess Sophie.
You got me. Listen, no hard feelings about earlier, yeah? This is for you.
Give me that.
All right if I head inside?
Do whatever you want. I ain't your mama.
The rancid stench of fecal matter and bestial musk floats over from a nightmarish menagerie, where partygoers in animal masks caper like children amidst a scattershot maze of caged exotic beasts. The artist flings her brush at the dejected-looking milk cow, twirling like a liquored-up lawn sprinkler. Her paint-spattered dress probably costs more than my car.
Oh, finally, come here quickly. It's done. At least, I think. I think it's done. Is it done? What do you say? Is it finished?
Lady, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Nonsense. Everyone has art in their soul. Please tell me what you think. Please? What do you see?
Her wild eyes are filled with beseeching and some unidentifiable inebriate buzz. She's nuts, but looking at her paints, I start to gin up some fun ideas about how I might get Lizzie's car out of the way. Well, I'm no art critic, but it strikes me as the crassness of human interference intruding upon nature's simple beauty.
Yes, you're right. It's utterly puerile. Gauche, even. The symbolism is too obvious. It practically shouts at you. And the execution? Ugh, we shan't speak of it any longer.
She offers me a silver cigarette case inlaid with pearl, engraved with a bold SJ on the lid.
Here, please, Have this. Never neglect your muse.
Thanks. She definitely lifted this from inside the mansion. I'm sure Mr. Soap would be quite grateful to see it returned. Some loon on the lawn has a heifer tied down and is splashing it with paint, apparently seeing it not as cattle but canvas for some bizarre spurt of artistic inspiration. Beasts in gilded wicker masks caper through a forest of filthy cages, squealing at pitiful captives both animal and human. They gnash and bleat, splashed with effluence, surrender to their basest instinct.
I'm a parrot. What kind of animal are you?
I'm a person?
People go in cages. Animals only in the menagerie.
They gesture drunkenly to a selection of masquerade animal faces. I see the glint of steel behind one of their palms. Starting a fight wouldn't get me any closer to Soap, and I don't want to end up a literal jailbird. Better play along. Give me the lion mask.
Come on, make the sound.
I stand stock still. A cool breeze blows in some quiet garden of my mind. I'm there, detached, gazing down at my own body as I suck in breath and prepare to royally embarrass myself.
You're a terrible lion. You don't scare me at all.
More whiskey.
For some reason known only to God and Charles Darwin, there's no lock on the cage holding back the inky musculature of a sleek black panther. I pop the latch and pray to both of them, just in case.
Snookums, no!
The air is filled with sudden shrieks as the jungle cat flees its prison, hissing and growling. In the blind panic, one of the masked miscreants drops something. I snatch it up for a closer look. It's a set of luxury car keys chained to a lucky rabbit's foot. So, someone intended to catch a ride home in one of Soap's cars. I'm sure he'd be quite grateful to see his keys returned. A thousand smells hang thickly in the humid crush of 100 unwashed bodies. Through trails of smoke and light, I catch glimpses of debauchery, but my attention's stolen by the dame in senior doe regalia rushing up to greet me. Her bright blonde curls are bouncing playfully. This imp in angel's garb could only be one person, Sophie's lieutenant, Alice.
Is that rat Lizzie finally gone? Thank goodness. I was starting to think she'd scare off everyone on the island. Welcome. I'm Alice.
Gia Randazzo.
What a wonderful pleasure it is to meet you.
This one's more bubbly than fresh-popped champagne. Her wide, dazzling smile gives me an odd itch. She's not like sly Sophie or hot-headed Lizzie at all. What's the score here? You're not much like the other does I've met. What's your racket?
I manage our theatrical district. Vaudevilles, cabarets, cinemas, burlesque. It's a tough job, but I've never been one to shy from the spotlight.
You're an actress?
On occasion, though my work for Sweet Marm keeps me mostly too busy for that. And what do you do?
Whatever needs doing.
How devilishly mysterious. I think we'll get along, you and I.
I suppose a polite doe is hardly the strangest thing I've seen tonight. I pay it no mind.
Come, let me show you around.
That's neighborly of you. Thanks.
Neighbors? Oh no, let's say we're friends. The very best of friends.
We only just met.
Well, then let's get to know one another. Tell me a secret.
Alice's milky sweet voice curdles slightly as she pours in a not-so-subtle note of challenge. Is this some kind of test? Secrets take two. I'll bite, but then you've got to give me one of yours. She claps her hands like an overjoyed schoolgirl, nodding her agreement and waiting anxiously. I feel like I'm dangling a stake over a tiger's pen. Right, I'm afraid of the rain, I suppose.
What? How odd! Go on, explain.
Not much to explain. Try growing up on ground level. Trash falls on your head more often than water down there. You learn to hate the sound of anything hitting your roof.
Oh, how very fascinating.
All right, now you. What's your secret?
It is a fascinating secret, but not quite fascinating enough. No, I need something more.
Look, it was nice meeting you and all, but I have an appointment with Soap Jackson.
Is that so? How strange. I manage Soap's social calls. He only spends time with the most interesting girls, you see. And I don't remember seeing your name on the list.
Just let me upstairs, will you? A burned-out little bulb sparks to life, and a nasty idea flashes over her face.
Tell you what, play a few of our games here, prove to me you're interesting, and maybe I'll agree to let you see Soap. It'll be terrific fun. I promise.
What's that going to prove?
We'll just see, won't we? Either way, I'll definitely learn something interesting about Gio Rondazzo.
Ugh, fine. A group of partygoers are socializing around an elegant water pipe. Underneath the pungent bitterness of the tobacco, I detect the subtle sweetness of molasses mixed with botanicals. I watch one of the smokers blow a thick cloud into the air, then sneak into the stash while the patrons are transfixed on the haze. The well-off will always pay top dollar for a good smoke. A raucous crowd against the far wall centers on a blindfolded figure haloed by knives, like some Sistine fresco of a circus freak. The blindfolded volunteer seems delighted by the danger, ignoring the bright crimson lines torn through their clothes, goading the crowd. The onlookers bay in response, hungry for more.
All right, we have another player. Step right up, little lady.
Me? No way.
Oh, don't be a spoil sport. Come on. Big bets, high stakes. You could walk away a winner tonight.
He grabs my wrist and slaps a knife into my palm. I can't think straight through the din of the spectators, who begin a rhythmic chant urging me to throw. Nah, maybe later. He grabs my wrist and slaps a knife in for a penny, like they say. What kind of odds am I getting?
Newcomers get 3 to 1, but you look pretty capable. Want to put some money down?
Damn right I do. I lick my thumb and unfold him some crisp lettuce as the onlookers cheer. All eyes are on me now. Watch this. Sometimes, too much thinking will get you killed. Maybe no thinking at all will save this sap's life. I barely look at the target before whipping the knife, letting my muscles do. He grabs my wrist and slaps a knife in for a penny. What kind of odds?
Newcomers get 3 to...
Damn right I do. I lick my thumb and watch this. Sometimes, too much thinking will get you killed. Maybe no thinking at all will save this sap's life. The knife practically shaves the fuzz off the volunteer's ear, landing with a loud thunk in the wall beyond. The crowd bursts into applause, and hands jostle me back and forth in excitement. Close shave. Pay up. Some crag-faced heavies lurk by the staircase, clearly sober and bored. I'd rather they didn't turn their attention my way. But there's no getting past them without Alice's say-so anyway. The doe stands ramrod straight, beautiful as an ice sculpture but rimmed with disdain. She presides over the scene like a grim judge. Or maybe, if the bound men's faces are any sign, an executioner. Next to her, a hard-nosed child sulks with a browbeaten expression. With a painful jolt, I realize the child is Jenna, the girl I didn't pick at the exchange. Pearl must have snapped her up at some point.
Are you paying attention? If you're going to be a doe, you'll have to make some hard choices.
Yes, Miss Pearl.
As I eavesdrop on Pearl and her newfound protege, someone jostles me, and I'm shoved to the front of the onlooking audience. Watch it.
A volunteer for the jury? Good. Step forward.
What's going on here?
These deviants stand accused of serious crimes against Dreamland and her good Baron. Crimes for which the punishment is death.
The captive men wriggle in fright. Both are flanked by a doe lieutenant, gripping wine bottles in each hand like headsmen's axes. Thirsty or not, the accused look like they'll be quenched into an early grave if the verdict doesn't swing their way.
As our newest aspirant, Jenna will hear their pleas and pass judgment. You, newcomer, will offer testimony as an impartial third party. Arthur Weingarten. You stand accused of defrauding the public trust in the amount of $570.50. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
Please, Miss Pearl, I ain't done nothing wrong. I won that hand fair and square.
So, you accuse Pandemonium of corruption, and by extension, Marm herself.
No, look, I'll give the money back if that's what you want.
And you, Harold Horowitz, stand accused of gross public indecency. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
This is a crock. A guy's not allowed to wear a red tie on a Tuesday? Says who?
Say the laws of this barony and its benevolent overseer, to which you agreed to abide faithfully the moment you stepped foot on its steel.
I ain't agreed to nothing. My niece got me that tie for Christmas. Damned if I won't wear it whenever I please.
Now we will hear from our impartial jury. What say you?
Listen, I know we all came here to have a drink or two, but this is nuts. The crowd around me murmurs assent. From below, Pearl looks like she belongs on Mount Rushmore. Haughty, pale, and hard as granite. How's about we let them go and get back to the party, huh?
Aspirant, do you agree?
Yes, Miss Pearl.
By the grace of Frau Magdalene, Baron of Dreamland, you are free to go.
The does cut the men free, but their relief is nothing compared to the kids, who beams a deeply grateful look down at me as Pearl turns her away.
Thank you, ma'am. Here, take this, for helping us out.
He presses a pair of onyx cufflinks into my hands, gleaming darkly in the half-light of the perpetual soiree. Don't mention it. Smart money's on these belonging to Soap. Probably lifted from in here someplace. I'm sure our host would be pleased to see them again.
Wow. You clearly don't suffer from stage fright.
Yeah, I'm a regular vaudevillian. Now let me see Soap.
What if I say no?
I haven't forgotten. You owe me a secret. But you don't need to say a word. I already know your secret, Alice.
Is that so?
Yeah. You wear different costumes, you play different parts. But there's one role you just can't quite pull off, isn't there? Significance, relevance, importance. Soap doesn't care what you think. Nobody does. So let me pass, and we'll both forget we ever knew you. Her grease paint mask of cheerfulness melts. Hot, lethal jealousy boils to the surface from underneath.
Let her through, boys.
On my way to Soap's parlor, I cross paths with a gaggle of inebriates, wearing the sourpuss looks of the newly impoverished. Inside, the air is slow and close, like a field of wheat that's never known the wind. The infamous gambler gadabout and man about town sits behind a desk, counting his poker winnings with a miser's relish. Nothing good grows in this sunless den, except his appetite and the numbers in his ledger. Can you capture an entire lifetime on ink and paper? What kind of an insane bureaucrat would even try? A billiards table has been repurposed as an impromptu bed, satin blankets forming a nest for the colored billiard eggs. In the lordly realm of jet-setters, Soap's at least a high-ranking count. Absurd amounts of money allow for all kinds of exotic adventures, I suppose. You ask me, New York's got plenty of its own. They say Soap willingly threw away an all-star baseball career to professionally peruse the pandemonium tables instead. I might have more respect for the guy if he still got his pants dirty on occasion. The sharp figure of Soap Jackson is recognizable to anyone who ever spared a passing glance at a tabloid. He's trim, athletic, and wears his $1,000 suit as casually as pajamas.
Well, let's see what my pretty little secretary sent up this time. What's your name, baby?
Gia Randazzo. Nice party. Little strange for my taste.
I cater to all tastes here. Surely I have something to suit your palate.
Well, it isn't boring, I'll give you that.
Let's keep it interesting then. Pick something.
He gestures broadly at the room, while pulling a loaf of cash from his pocket big enough to choke a horse. It's a practiced motion, one he performs dozens of times a day, the unconscious twitch of an addict chasing a high. We betting on something?
Too slow, baby. Come on. I'm on a streak. There. You see that?
He points to an empty corner of the ornate stucco ceiling, or rather, to the cobweb hanging there, ghostly pale in the dim light.
5,000 says that spider will move to the right. Come on, you want this action or what?
You're on. But I don't want to deprive a poor man of his last dollar. Let's up the stakes.
I'm listening.
If I win, you change the schedule for the fireworks show at Marm's birthday bash. If this request strikes him as strange, he doesn't show it. I imagine he's wagered other men's salaries on wilder things in the last hour alone.
And if I win?
Name your price. Soap doesn't need a beastly mask to resemble a wolf, his eyes shining in the gloom with the thrill of the hunt. Whether it's drawn by a magnet, the scent of blood, or the invisible hand of its duplicitous master, the spider struts across its web on an easterly course like it was always a foregone conclusion. Soap grins. You rigged it. You must have.
I never lose, baby. That's why I'm the best. Now, I believe you said I could name my price.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about this. I know you'll change your mind.
Now, why would I go and do a thing like that?
This is my first time at one of your parties. I don't know all the rules yet.
Well, allow me to get you up to speed. Rule number 1, this is Soap's joint, and what Soap says goes.
Could have figured that one out myself.
Rule number 2, the party don't stop until I say it stops.
Yeah, I caught that one too. The way your guests are behaving, this one's getting pretty long in the tooth. Do you even know half these people? Soap shrugs like it couldn't concern him any less. It's no act. It really couldn't.
That's all part of the magic, baby. And rule number 3, at Soap's, anything goes.
Anything, huh? He doesn't answer, just bares his gleaming pearly fangs in a canine mockery of a smile. I don't believe you and Marm Weiss are just bosom pals. There has to be more to it. He tuts and waves his hand, as though I've introduced an annoying insect into the conversation.
Ain't nobody pals with Marm.
Then why are you the MC at her birthday bash?
Because she won't go for nothing but the best. She'll pay top dollar to impress this slum she calls a barony. And trust me, baby, I ain't cheap.
So you get a fat payday for saying a few words into a microphone, and Marm gets to coast off your social capital. Pretty good deal.
I told you, I only bet on a sure thing.
Not all of us are rich enough to live this way, you know. Can't you make an exception for a poor mug like me?
Not a chance. I'm always paid what I'm owed. How you think I got here?
I don't want to know, but I've got a feeling it wasn't community bake sales.
You got that right. It might not look like it, but it takes sand to live the way I do.
Liquored up in your plush palace, burning cash while half the city starves? Yeah, real brave of you. Is this really all there is? I watch as he decides not to take offense, preserving his 24-carat self-image in a sneer that radiates condescension and pity.
One day, baby, you'll learn the answer to that question, and you'll realize old Soap was right all along.
You never asked what I do for a living.
Okay then. What do you do for a living?
I'm a pyrotechnics engineer, and if you set off those fireworks as planned, you'll interfere with an Aether wave fluctuation synced to the island's nightly cooling system dump.
Huh?
Just move up the schedule, Soap. Trust me. Or Marm will blame you for the second time her casino burns down.
Ha! Fine then. It makes no difference to me.
Like a grateful spelunker reacquainting themselves with the warmth of sunlight, I surface from the depraved depths of Soap's party into the cool air. Think that'll do for social outings for a while. As I turn over the ignition, I spot a pair of wounded eyes behind glass. Alice, in her own right, mascara painted down her cheeks in spiteful rivulets. Seems my association with Apollo was the final nail in tonight's coffin of humiliation. I don't make it spitting distance from soaps before the scream of Alice's engine adds its own bile to the city's cacophony.
You ugly hag. You're a nobody.
Give me a break. Isn't it time for your curtain call? Why don't you head back to the party before everyone forgets your face, huh?
I'll kill you! Action!
tank's leaking!
Not fair! You horrid little witch!
I'm waiting for a green dot at a stop when the radio hisses in my ear.
Stop what you're doing. I have a job for you.
Hang on a sec. What's going on? The light changes. While I cut a line towards the side of the road, distant voices buzz through radio static like a kicked hive.
There's been a leak. We need to plug it quick. Otherwise, you, me, and all the rest are in the air. Someone's gotten into our Dreamland network. They went fishing for info and hooked one of our people. Get yourself over to Coney Island and stop the sale.
How exactly? I'm not a spy.
You know what they say, sweetheart. Beggars can't be choosers. You're the one closest there, and you know how to take care of problems.
How'd they get into your network?
Broke into all our Dreamland drop boxes with a note. Payment for intel, Coney Island, wear a red scarf, limited offer, fill in the rest.
Anyone I know?
Would it matter if it was?
Maybe, but I sure hope not. Listen, Hollywood. I'll look into this, but I'm not your attack dog.
Sure, loud and clear. Just remember, if we swing, you'll be keeping us company, 8 sharp. Now get going. The meet's at 12. Look for someone in a red scarf. Deal with them however you do, then meet us at the shop between the golden flowers.